Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel here once again, and this is going to be another wrestling review. We are continuing our look at some SummerSlam matches, and it's time to set the scene. 2011, and John Cena and CM Punk had faced off at Money in the Bank 2011, which I had reviewed quite a while ago on the channel. If you haven't already, go check out that review. And after that, CM Punk left, did exactly what he was going to do, took the WWE Championship, and left for quite some time. In the meantime, an interim WWE Champion was named, and that happened to be John Cena. Uh, uh, or actually, it was Rey Mysterio at first. He won like the tournament, and then John Cena won it from him. Why? Your guess is as good as mine, but then CM Punk eventually came back with a new T-shirt, a T-shirt I actually have, and new theme music. This was the debut of Cult of Personality, but CM Punk was still technically WWE champion, but now John Cena's also WWE champion. Now there's a little bit of a problem. So it's time to settle it at SummerSlam to determine who is the real WWE champion, and I'm talking about CM Punk versus John Cena at SummerSlam 2011. And as always, I'm not a professional wrestling viewer, analyst, or anything like that. Just a man who enjoys a good time. And I had a really great time for the most part. And you'll learn what that for the most part, or I guess what that tiny sliver of not the most part is coming up in a little bit. And if you've seen this match before, you probably already know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't seen these reviews of mine before, if you have, you kind of already know how this works. But if you haven't, if this is your first time here, first of all, welcome. But of course, if you haven't, I'm going to be talking about what I liked and disliked about the match. I kind of already talked about what got us here, but it was also, but I should also mention that Triple H is the special guest referee for this match. Why? Well, beats me. They kind of try to explain away on commentary that Triple H felt he was the only one suited to do the job of determining who would be the real WWE champion. Uh, sure. I don't see why not. And of course, there's having who's the real champion, something that WWE likes to do quite a bit. They did it with Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. Hell, they did it with Sami Zayn and AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy quite some time later on, especially during like the pandemic times. So who's the real champion is someone who is a storyline, I should say, that WWE has run back quite a bit. It's because they seemingly can't seem to get enough of it. Now, to my knowledge, and they kind of talked about it on commentary, yeah, this is the first time that they've done it for the World Championship. If that is false, please let me know. Feel free to correct me and them in the comment section below. I'm kind of normally I call WWE out on it, but this time I don't know for sure, so I unfortunately have no choice but to take their word for it. But yeah, as for the match, this match was a lot of fun, and it's very appropriate that we're reviewing this match here for SummerSlam this year, and that's partially why I did this, because CM Punk and John Cena in present day, 2025, I've in a match that I'm hopefully going to review this week when I finally review Night of Champions. I know I'm super late to the party, but we will get there. But yeah, so in present day 2025. John Cena and CM Punk have faced off for the WWE Championship for for uh, for potentially the last time. CM Punk has said as much. And of course, this is John Cena's final year, so I imagine probably more than likely the case of it being the last time that these two face off. But excuse me as I finish off my water there. But as for this match, a lot of fun back and forth. There's plenty of matches and moments where things dragged. I feel like has been happening in these reviews, but this one, no, not a chance. It's just boom, 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 go, go, go. Oh, there's times where things slow down just a tad bit, just to give them a chance to catch their breath, like the submissions and everything. John Cena managing to put on, if you can believe it, one of his better looking STFs. As because he actually does the proper STF where he like kind of grabs the head as well instead of just doing like this the whole time and making that ridiculous face. He actually kind of grabs it a la Samoa Joe. So props to Cena there, I guess, for that. But yeah, a lot of fun back and forth. Excuse me. Things really do. Excuse me. Wow, double. But things really do. I was waiting to see if there was a triple hole there, but things really do go back and forth, and momentum really shifts back and forth. There's plenty of times where Cena's on top, and then there's plenty of times where CM Punk is on top. Like we see in a lot of matches where one person dominates most of the time and the other tries to fight back. But in this case, maybe it's also due to the fact that this is face versus face, so they kind of want to really show the dynamics. It's not really a heel to get most of the offense and the baby face to come back at from up under the heel. But definitely in this case, is very very evenly matched. Like both get it a lot in, both have an answer for each other's counters. Is this better than the Money in the Bank match? I don't think so, but it's still really, really fun and exciting between the two. Who we get some of that technical prowess is on display there with actual like wrestling and stuff like that. Which I think people often forget that John can match up when it comes to that. He doesn't always do it, relying a lot more on his power and everything, but when it's time to match up with that, he usually able to do that. And Punk working around him as well when it comes to that, working with him, I should say, when it comes to that, is really awesome and really impressive to see. He and just has made for a very, very fun back and forth encounter, and the crowd is electric throughout the entire time. And cheers for both men, and really. Yeah, including at the end when Punk actually wins the match, but Cena's foot is on the rope and Triple H actually misses it. Punk is declared the winner, but it's kind of in controversy. And then more controversy as Kevin Nash shows up. Now I'm kind of just detailing what happens in the end of the match here. Here we'll definitely have to talk about Kevin Nash and everything. But Kevin Nash shows up. Admittedly, a pretty funny exchange when Nash does show up and Booker T says, "That's my big homie." Yeah, but Nash shows up, attacks Punk, and then out comes Alberto Del Rio. He comes down, cashes in, and wins the W Championship. So he walks out as W Champion, and so kind of ending the match and that air of kind of controversy on top of controversy, and we'll see how things play out. Spoiler alert, we're in for kind of a bumpy ride when it comes to this feud, but we're mainly talking about the moments, not the feud. The feud is something for possibly another time. I'm sure I'll probably have to, if I'm going to do wrestling reviews here on YouTube, I'm sure I'll have to cross paths with Kevin Nash's return in 2011 at some point, and I guess the entirety of WWE's take on the Summer of Punk. But yeah, so that adds a little bit of mystery, of intrigue as well to the end of the match, for good and for bad, which we'll get to. But it does kind of add a little bit of extra depth to the match. Now, in terms of what I didn't quite like about the match, for starters, Triple H being there, I guess maybe this is best case scenario. Triple H is kind of just there as a non-factor. You almost forget he's there. The only parts of note of Triple H being in the match is when he's about to count out both Cena and Punk after like Punk dives at Cena on the outside and they're both out and they're about to be counted out for a 10 and Triple H just throws them back in the ring, and which I guess that's a wrestling law in a way. If both guys are about to be counted out and a wrestler is a special guest referee, no way they're going to do the count out. That's not what the people want to see. The people want to see an actual winner. So they throw them in the ring. I wish referees did that more often, like regular referees. Granted, it'd be a bit unprofessional, but I'd kind of dig to see it. But there's that, and then missing Cena's foot on the rope, and and uh, and the potential Kevin Nash involvement. Hence, but that doesn't really play out until the feud. But otherwise, until we actually get to the feud. But otherwise, yeah, Triple H almost feels like a non-factor, almost like it could have been a regular referee, and it probably would have been the same. And I think what they were going for was it does kind of further the kind of feud. They kind of try to do two feuds at one, on the kind of triangle feud, if you will, because then from this point, CM Punk feuds with Kevin Nash, but he also kind of feuds with Triple H as well. But he was already kind of doing that as well. So they kind of try to do. They kind of try to multitask a little bit, and it ends up kind of being weird. But yeah, so I guess it plays into that, but otherwise, I feel like Triple H, in terms of what he did in the match, is kind of a non-factor. Now, did I want him to be overly involved and annoying? No. Oh, but I do also kind of feel like a I also kind of feel like kind of in just the bubble of the match. I know it sets up for later on, but kind of the bubble of the match, it almost feels like he doesn't do too much, which I guess is not the worst thing in the world. But the other thing is that commentary. Now commentary, he does get grating at times. Now for 2011 heel Michael Cole era, alongside Jerry Lawler and Booker T is there as well. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Michael Cole doesn't go full on annoying or creepy or anything. Maybe because the Miz isn't in this match, but which I guess a good thing that we don't get obnoxious, annoying heel Michael Cole commentary, and that's a topic for another video. But yeah, it does get the commentary does get a bit much in this match. And then let's also talk about the ending. Now, not taking the feud into account, it kind of feels like a lame duck ending. Like having Kevin Nash show up and then having Del Rio cash in after CM Punk's somebody who a lot of people want to be WWE champion, coming off this all this very hot momentum of him coming back with the WWE championship. He already screwed up initially by not having CM Punk do more while WWE champion, such as like defending it in other promotions, like people kind of wanted to kind of add to the intrigue, but maybe you didn't want to do that. WWE, at least at this time, was infamous for not wanting to share their toys, but Kevin Nash showing up and attacking CM Punk, and then the Del Rio cash in. It kind of takes the air out of the room a little bit. People don't really pop for Del Rio. Unfortunately, and this is not even taking into account what we, I guess, now know nowadays about Alberto Del Rio, Alberto Patron, however you refer to him, and kind of what kind of person he is. Even back then, people never really clicked with Alberto Del Rio. He was talented. He could cut a pretty decent promo. Oh, but something never really clicked. And I think this was the most evident because when he won the WWE Championship, hip, uh, hip, uh, I think WWE expected a much bigger reaction in whether cheering Del Rio or being upset with the decision, like what the heck is going on. But things kind of felt flat. And he didn't quite get the pop that I think WWE was hoping for, or in Del Rio, which is unfortunate. And it's crazy that Del Rio managed to win both the Royal Rumble and Money in the Bank in the same year. So they were definitely hot on Del Rio this year, but ultimately, he uh he uh Del Rio wins WWE Championship and kind of like takes the air out of the room. It almost does add that level of mystery with Nash being there, and crazy that that it wouldn't be the last time Triple H would be special guest referee and in a John Cena match, and chaos and kind of stuff would ensue afterwards. Or it's in a SummerSlam. There was also 2 years later at SummerSlam 2013 when Triple H was a special guest referee for John Cena versus Daniel Bryan. But that's for another SummerSlam review, maybe down the line. Not sure if next year or a year after. I'm not entirely sure yet, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah. So, oh, uh, oh, it So it kind of adds you get the feeling it wanted to add, that W wanted to add that kind of level of mystery and like what's going on, why is Kevin Nash there, but it kind of falls flat. I think what really did it in as well was the fact that earlier this year we had seen Kevin Nash as Diesel in the Royal Rumble. Well, he was in the 40-man Royal Rumble, and we had saw him earlier this year, and then he came back, so the pop isn't as big. I think the pop would have been a lot bigger had we not seen Nash earlier in the year. There still would have been that kind of huh reaction, but I don't think it would have been as big as it was here. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just speculation on my part. But yeah, so really awesome match. Kind of a weird. I don't know if I want to call it anticlimactic ending, but it's an ending that kind of makes you scratch your head a little bit. Kind of makes you say, "Huh?" But nevertheless, that's going to do it for this match. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We do have one more SummerSlam match to review, but we will review that tomorrow. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on those post notifications so you know every time I upload a video, so you never miss an upload, and let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts on the match, my review of the match. Do you like this match? Do you like my review of the match? Let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.